Welcome to the Profiles in Business podcast, where we talk about the influencers, innovators, and disruptors shaking up the world of business today. Now, here's your hosts.
Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so let's get into this. Living here in South Florida, it's amazing, right? The sun, the lifestyle.
Definitely. Beautiful place to be.
But it's also a place where the weather is constantly, testing our homes, especially our roofs.
Oh, absolutely. You've got that relentless heat day in, day out, intense UV rays just baking everything.
And the humidity. It just hangs there, always looking for a way in, creating moisture problems.
Yeah, and that's before you even get to the main event, hurricane season.
Exactly. The power of those storms, the wind, the sheer volume of water. It's not just some bad weather. It puts your whole structure at risk.
It really does. Down here, your roof isn't just, covering the house. It's your primary shield.
Yeah.
It's got to stand up to some serious forces.
It's almost like survival architecture, as you see.
In a way, yeah. Quality roofing isn't a luxury here. It's essential.
Which brings us to our focus for this deep dive, Centurion Roofing. Now, these guys are interesting because they're rooted right here. A second-generation family business.
Right, and they've been dealing with these exact South Florida challenges, Miami-Dade, Broward County, for over 25 years.
So that's not just time served. That's over 2 decades of specific, localized experience, learning what works, what doesn't in this unique environment.
They really position themselves as guides through this, people who genuinely understand what it takes to protect a home here.
Okay, so here's what we'll cover today. We're going to look at the value that comes from being a family-run business, what makes roofing in this region so demanding, and how Centurion approaches it focusing on quality, being transparent, and building for storm resilience. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's start with that family foundation. It seems central to who they are.
It really does. You've got Nelson, the founder, and his son, Eduin, father and son, leading the team. It's genuinely family-operated.
And you can sort of feel how that influences their approach, can't you? It's not just a tagline.
No, it translates directly. There's often a different level of personal attention. You feel like you're dealing with people who have their name, their reputation, directly on the line with every single job.
That personal stake, yeah. It often leads to more accountability, I think. And they emphasize being transparent and honest to our clients. That feels like it comes from that family core. It's more than just a slogan, right? It feels like a principle. They're accountable not just to a head office somewhere, but to each other, to their community they've been serving for, decades.
So for you, the listener, why does this matter? Well, it often means you get a different kind of interaction, maybe more direct communication, more focus on building a relationship rather than just, completing a transaction.
It's that long-term view. The reputation is built one project at a time. And when you're dealing with something as major as a roof, especially here, that kind of trust is huge.
Absolutely. That personal touch can make a stressful process feel a bit more manageable, which is important given how tough roofing is in South Florida. Okay, let's really dig into why it's so tough here. Miami-Dade, Broward, what makes it different? We mentioned the sun.
Yeah, the UV exposure is brutal.
No.
It breaks down materials much faster than in cooler places. Shingles get brittle, seals crack.
And the humidity again, it's not just uncomfortable for us, it's looking for weaknesses in the roof structure. If it's not properly ventilated, you're looking at mold, rot. Big problem.
Potentially serious structural issues down the road, yeah. A roof has to breathe properly here.
But the biggest one, the one everyone worries about, is hurricanes. Tropical storms, that wind.
The wind uplift is incredible. It doesn't just rip off a few shingles. It can start peeling back layers, exposing the deck.
And then the water gets in. Driving rain, finding any tiny gap, it can cause catastrophic damage inside the home so quickly.
Right, and this is where Centurion's 25-plus years specifically here really counts. It's not just general roofing know-how.
No, it's experience earned in this climate. They understand the local failure points, they know the building codes, which, let's be honest, are stricter here for a reason.
Exactly. Those codes exist because of the hurricane risk. They know which materials actually hold up to the heat, the moisture, the wind pressure over years, not just on paper.
So the key takeaway, though, is that generic experience isn't enough. You need that specific local knowledge. They've seen what works and what fails right here in South Florida.
And you see that reflected in the services they really highlight. Yes, they do residential roof, metal, shingle, tile, and commercial work too.
But their focus on storm damage restoration and really thorough roof inspections, that feels very targeted to this market.
It has to be. An inspection by someone who knows what to look for in this climate can spot vulnerabilities before a storm hits. That can save you a fortune.
Huge potential savings, yeah. And then, if the worst happens, having a team that specializes in storm damage knows how to assess it properly and handle the restoration. That's critical.
Which leads us nicely into their overall approach. How do they combine the family values and the local expertise day to day?
Right, the Centurion approach. It seems to rest on a few pillars. Comprehensive services, like we said, residential, commercial, repairs, maintenance, storm help, the whole package.
But the thing that seems to come up again and again, especially in reviews, is their commitment to being transparent and communicating clearly.
Yeah, they seem to get that a roofing project is a big deal. It's stressful for homeowners, so they focus on making the process less opaque.
How does that work, practically? Well, it seems to involve clear explanations up front. What needs doing, why, what materials, the timeline.
And keeping you in a loop if anything unexpected comes up, right? Not just surprising you with changes. Plus, finishing on time, cleaning up properly. It's about professionalism.
And their reputation seems to bear this out. You mentioned the reviews. A 4.9 out of 5 on Google from 56 reviews is pretty impressive.
It really is. And when you look at the comments, people talk about exceptional communication, professionalism, quality work, and often that phrase above and beyond.
That above and beyond tells you something, doesn't it? It suggests they're not just checking boxes. It points back to that personal investment, maybe.
I think so. It's that feeling of dealing with people who genuinely care about the outcome and your experience. And they also mention expanded financing partnerships, which is practical. It makes essential work more accessible if budget is a concern.
Which is important. And that level of care is perhaps most crucial when we talk about storm resilience. Because, let's face it, that's top of mind for everyone here.
Non-negotiable, yeah. So their approach here has two sides, right? Proactive protection.
Exactly. Using their experience to recommend and install roofing systems designed to withstand high winds. Things like metal roofing, for instance.
Metal roofs are known for being much better in hurricanes, aren't they? The way the panels interlock and are fastened down.
Significantly more resistant to wind uplift than traditional shingles, yeah. So that's the proactive side, knowing what materials and techniques offer the best defense.
But then there's the reactive side, because even the best roof might take a hit in a major storm.
Right, and that's where their expertise in storm damage assessment comes in. It's crucial to identify all the damage, not just the obvious stuff. Wind and water can cause hidden problems.
That's a key point. You need someone who knows where to look for that less obvious damage to ensure a full repair.
And they apparently have a strong track record in handling the whole restoration process, guiding homeowners through the aftermath of a storm. That experience is invaluable when you're dealing with that kind of stress and chaos.
So for you, the listener, this means working with a company that thinks about protecting your home before the storm.
And is ready with reliable, experienced help to get things back to normal after the storm, if needed. It's that full spectrum of care.
Okay, let's wrap this up. What are the main takeaways from our deep dive on Centurion Roofing?
Well, first, the foundation. A second-generation family business bringing personal accountability and care.
Second, that deep, hard-won experience over 25 years focused specifically on the unique, demanding conditions of Miami-Dade and Broward. That local expertise is key.
Third, their approach, emphasizing transparency, clear communication, quality work, backed by solid reviews and practical things like financing options.
And finally, critically, their specialized knowledge in storm resilience, both preventing damage and recovering from it. That offers real peace of mind here.
It really seems like they combine that personal touch of a family company with the specific battle-tested expertise you need for South Florida roofing.
Their commitment seems clear customer satisfaction, upholding the family name through good work.
So if you're in Miami-Dade or Broward and you have any concerns about your roof, maybe it's age, maybe just thinking ahead to hurricane season, getting expert advice tailored to this area makes a lot of sense.
And Centurion Roofing offers free consultations. They can provide solutions designed precisely for South Florida's climate. You can find their website. It's centurionroofing.net. The link is right in the description for this deep dive.
Yeah, definitely check out the website again, centurionroofing.net, link in the description. You can see their services, residential, commercial, and importantly, read those client testimonials for yourself.
It's the best way to learn more and reach out. Don't wait for the storm warnings. Being proactive is key. That website again is in the description, centurionroofing.net. Click the link, get that free consultation. It's a simple step that could save a lot of trouble later.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. In a place like South Florida, where the weather is always part of the story, what's the real cost of not having roofing expertise you can truly trust? Expertise that's local, proven, and understands hurricanes. What's that peace of mind worth when the next storm forms out over the Atlantic?
Thanks for listening. Be sure to check the show description to learn more about the businesses we covered today. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content.